Flying ESR-22, the Cirrus, over the Seiser Alm right now. This Alpe di Suisi. It's a very nice part of the Italian Dolomites. You may recognise it from Instagram. It's this meadow here. It's huge. It's very high up. It's the highest meadow in the Alps, and it's surrounded by these lovely monolithic, kind of very vertical mountains, Dolomites, very typical Dolomites looking kind of things. And let's see if I can switch over to the. I can't switch over to Google Maps. I'm stuck on them. This is Bing data from the game. So it's alright, it's not bad, but I can see why it's just a bit blurry and inconsistent at times. You can kind of see that now. But that's a different Saturday, which the rest of it. So, you know, for all the people moan about the main one, you've got the same problems here, really. So this is the big mountain at the back of the Seiser Alm, and somewhere over here is the Instagram spot. Everyone takes a picture with those three in the background. Absolutely lovely place. We're flying to Bolzano today. Bolzano is LIPB, so I'm actually going to go into the valley now and make a nice descent down. I'm using the autopilot because it just makes things simpler, to be honest. Let's go directly to the west, and I'm going to demand some vertical speed, so power back down to about 20%. I'm going to set the altitude down to 4,000. Set vertical speed mode. We'll do 1,200 feet per minute. I'm going to adjust the power to keep the speed constant at about 129, 130 knots. So Bolzano is an extreme airport. It has an extreme approach in some places. So let's just scooch over a bit more to the right, just to avoid the terrain on the left here. Now those cliffs would probably look a lot better with a Google Maps picture, to be honest, but we don't have one, so that's fine. We'll just leave it like that. As with these mountains, the mountain textures come out a bit more crisp when you're using better data. So now descending down here, we've got 127 knots, so. And the reason I've kept 10% power on is we always want to keep the engine working. If the engine stops working, it gets cold. It's cold up here, and a cold engine is a bad engine, and we don't want that. So we make sure that we constantly use the engine slightly. So the airport is somewhere down there. We're descending at 1,200 feet per minute, so I'm actually going to turn left into the valley now. It's probably like a heading of about 240. Roughly. We're descending down nicely. We've got 129 knots, 1,200 feet per minute, so you can see the altitude's just scraping off there. But it's a nice descent profile. It's not like I'm asking it to nosedive or anything. It is a very kind of calm descent. You see the Seiser Alm was up here, and the valley floor is actually way down there, so it's a very high altitude plane. You can see that there from the simple geography of the place. So I'm going to actually aim for kind of in here. I'll maybe ask a bit more descent speed, so reduce down to like 10% properly. Ask for another 300 feet per minute. There you go, and let's try and reduce. Maybe not that much mixture out, because otherwise we won't be flying anymore. So Bolzano weather. Do we have weather? No, we're using REX, because if I was using the other weather it would be a nightmare. So at Bolzano the conditions are clear. There is 200 at 6, so that means 180 or as close to 180 would be the best runway to use. And funnily enough, that is the runway that we've got here. So it's a wind coming from the south, so we should be landing on the south facing runway. So just keep reducing that power down. I'm trying to kind of end up in the valley at a sort of sensible speed. Now we've got the speeds here, 120 knots minimum, maximum for flaps 1. We're going to use flaps 2 for landing, or 100% flaps. So we just need to make sure that we're kind of doing that in the right place and the right time. At this point, I think it'll be probably better to just go off autopilot and just start doing my own thing. We're getting a bit of turbulence now. Yeah, that's the Föhn coming in. Actually accurate Föhn for once. Actually I think REX is better at turbulence than Microsoft. Yeah, we just ended below that altitude that we programmed, but that's fine because that's what we need to be doing. Okay, so there's the airport. I'm going to enter the right traffic. We're going to make right traffic patterns around this. Unsure what the actual altitude of the airport is, so there's Bolzano. Nothing's coming up. So we're going to fly upwind. Upwind basically means overfly the runway. And I'm hoping that I'm roughly the right kind of altitude. Okay, so I'm going to downfly this. When I get to the end of this little point here, I'm going to make the right turn. Bit more power. So the airport's about 1,200 feet. So we're reaching the end of that now. You can see we've still got the runway underneath there. Going to do a left turn now. So going off for kind of a funny dog leg there. So there's the airfield there. Let's put flaps 1 in. Bolzano traffic, Cirrus, Quebec uniform, downwind runway 20. Don't actually know which runway it is. Seems to be about 30% for the arrival. Flaps 2 in. Let's look at the base leg now. down a bit. Cirrus is a lovely aircraft. It's got a lot of systems. You've got an autopilot, which is fantastic in an aircraft of this sort of size. So let's use the aiming points now. Okay. Touchdown. I'm going to finish that one up there, and we're going to fly back to Innsbruck pretty soon. I actually have no idea where I can